Hey all, we are taking a look right now at the histology of the esophagus. We're at 40x. The esophagus, like the oral cavity and the pharynx, is made of non-keratinized stratified squamous as part of its mucous membrane, its mucosa. Let's take a closer look. Here is 100x. You can see it a little better. Lots of muscle. This is a longitudinal cut, by the way. In a previous video, we saw a cross-section of the esophagus. This is longitudinal. This is 400x. And here you can see a simple squamous, non-keratinized stratified squamous, lamina propria right here, areolar connective tissue, muscularis mucosa right here, submucosa, more areolar connective tissue, and then from here down, lots and lots of muscle of the muscularis externa, and then there's some fat and adventitia. Adventitia's out here. There's that dense irregular. This is at 400x right now. That is the esophagus in longitudinal section. I'm going to keep following the esophagus, keep following the epidermis or the epithelium of the esophagus. And all of a sudden, we go from stratified squamous to these cells. Let's take a closer look here. These cells, if you look closely, it's a simple layer, so there's only one layer, and they're columnar. These are simple columnar cells. And they're forming these long finger-like, well, not finger-like, but these long projections, really more projections inward than outward. You can see how on the surface they don't stick out from each other, but they go deep. So these are pits. We've transitioned from the esophagus to the stomach. What the arrow is pointing at are gastric pits, and the pits can go pretty deep. If you cut a pit at a perfect angle, then it looks like it goes longer, but it's always hard to cut these tubes. They're never perfectly straight. So these ones that we see down here, these are still part of the gastric pits, like these circles over here. And gastric pits are secreting acid, secreting enzymes, and there's even mucus cells. Let's show a good example. These light-colored cells here, mucus cells, secreting mucus, because you need lots of mucus sent to the lumen to protect the stomach lining against acid. So we're at 400x right now. Let's go back out so you see the difference. Stratified squamous, simple columnar of the stomach on the right. Down to here is where the gastric pits go. I know that the clearest part is over here, but they go all the way down to here. Then we get our muscularis mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa. Same layers there. The stomach, though, has serosa on the very, very outside, which I don't know if I can find it well here. That's muscle. The stomach has serosa on the very outside because it is covered by the visceral peritoneum. Let's look at one more slide showing the stomach. That was 100x. Here is the stomach at 100x again. Let's go to 400x. Stomach 400x, you can see all the gastric pits with gastric glands. This is a good place to zoom in. Here is, this one shows the gastric pits really, really nicely. So very, very deep, like from the lumen side, there's the apical side, all the way down to around there. And that's when we can finally get the lamina propria and the muscularis mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, lots of it, and then serosa. We're at 100x. Let's go to 400. You can see the clusters of mucus cells Remember, mucus cells are clustered together, unlike goblet cells, which are individual. These are mucus cells to produce mucus. You need lots and lots of mucus in your stomach. And the rest of the cells, which we're not going to cover in this class, things like parietal cells and D cells, to help regulate the release of secretions in the stomach, of enzymes and other things. That's 400x, back to 100x. I think that's a good place to stop. All right, so those are the gastric pits of the stomach. Thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions.